Welcome, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on 5 challenges for SAP maintenance work. My name is David Solomonic, and I'm the Managing Director for Seal Systems in the US. If you have any questions during the presentation, please enter them in on the GoToWebinar panel on your right, or feel free to contact me after the conference. First, a little bit about us. Seal Systems was founded in 1980 near Erlangen, Germany. Since then, we've established ourselves globally as a major provider of certified output management and file format conversion solutions for many ERP and PLM systems. Currently, we help thousands of active customers and installations around the world with a variety of use cases for collecting, converting, and distributing packages of forms, drawings, and documents for SAP within modules like plant maintenance, sales and distribution, production orders, materials management, and more. We also provide integration solutions for other PLM and ERP systems like Teamcenter, Innovia, and Windchill, as well as standalone output or conversions for many IT and business operations. With locations in the US, Europe, and Australia, as well as with partners in various countries and industries, we support mission-critical systems and time-sensitive projects to stand up out-of-the-box software that brings benefit to a variety of applications. We're joined today by our Visio Corporation, our premier partner in the SAP plant maintenance space. They were formed over 10 years ago by a group of industry experts and software professionals and have been heavily involved in providing solutions to streamline and enhance asset management, work scheduling, contract management, and much more. With locations around the world, Visio maintains a focus on asset criticality, urgency, and compliance. Visio solutions deliver precisely what you need to implement your asset strategies. So companies regularly spend valuable time planning and scheduling complex and crucial operational work orders. The easy part should be getting this information in the hands of your workforce. Often overlooked, the scheduling, collection of these forms and procedures, and the ability to include all the relevant drawing attachments and information can take as much time to process as the work itself. Today, we will outline the 5 challenges and offer solutions to help your company increase productivity and achieve reliable results across your enterprise. First, we'll start with work accuracy. How do you get the correct information into the hands of the right people easily? Followed by network files. Are your attachments scattered across multiple servers? Third, with document security. Are your supporting documents sensitive and proprietary? Fourth, we'll talk about agency compliance. Are you meeting government and industry compliance guidelines? And last, we'll talk a little bit about effort and costs. Are you doing all this manually? So we'll start off with work accuracy. How do you get the correct information into the hands of the right people easily? The first step is proper order scheduling. The work won't usually schedule itself, and someone has to make decisions and at times enter in a lot of data and find and link appropriate attachments to successfully prepare the work orders. Accurate maintenance orders are sometimes taken for granted. Not everyone recognizes the amount of meticulous work that goes into planning and building these jobs to maintain consistent results and smooth workflow. Having the right information in the right place to start with is the foundation of good procedure and saves everyone time and expense later on. If you're currently planning your maintenance orders in SAP utilizing the intelligent Visio WorkAlign suite, then you're already enjoying the benefits of accurate scheduling with less effort and repetitive data entry. Otherwise, you may be familiar with the exhaustive decisions and data points that go into scheduling proper work for any of your repair or upkeep jobs. Whichever you choose to use to perform your scheduling, getting it right is always first in mind. Part of this relies on having any attachments or documents like worksheets, lockout tags, task lists, process sheets, specifications, or other forms and reference materials in the proper place and available to anyone who reviews the orders from planning to execution. This means taking drawings, documents, instructions, and attaching the actual files from the network or as internet links to a functional location equipment, PRTs, components, and other SAP objects. When everything is stored in its proper place, then these objects need to be finally attached to the work order. When a planner or maintenance manager goes to collect the work packages for their daily or weekly job, can you guess how many clicks it takes to get to all the files? They might need to take some time to get through the work order screen, to the objects, to find the links, to get the drawings, to save and or print them. Each one, every job, can they actually find them all? With the Seals plant maintenance distribution software in SAP are integrated directly into the Visio WorkAlign suite. Automatic collection and distribution of all the appropriate maintenance forms, attachments, and relevant information to assist in successfully executing work instructions in the field as possible. All the files related to the work order are bundled together into a complete package, either through single print or batch processes. And then the package can be sent to a final destination, completed from start to finish, sorted properly by work operation and to any device anywhere, including printers, email, web portals, tablets, and mobile stations. So secondly, with network files, are your attachments scattered across multiple servers and locations? If your company uses complex equipment and tools in its daily goods production, you tend to find that this equipment requires a vast amount of supporting documentation and maintenance paperwork. As an example, when you think about buying a computer, you end up with a user manual and maybe an accessories brochure. But now consider having to maintain that equipment yourself. Clean it out, check for wear, or swap out components on a regular basis. How many manuals would you have to keep around to explain how to do all this work, let alone what parts you need to keep on stock to do this on a regular schedule? If these were delivered to you by the original manufacturer in different file formats, like stacks of real paper, what would that look like and where would you store it? Now imagine maintaining hundreds of these devices across your company at all your plants. When using documents around SAP, you generally don't want to keep all these copies of maintenance-related attachments on your local PC. First, because it can be overwhelming to organize, and maybe more importantly, no one else will be able to get to them. These files are best stored in SAP and linked to the maintenance order through appropriate channels like the operations, equipment, functional location, etc. Now it's available for anyone at any time, and only one copy is linked and controlled by SAP. Even when this is done, these files still have to live somewhere. Where can they be accessed by anyone or any software that asks for it? Your IT department probably has a lot of choices for storing these files, and for a number of reasons doesn't just use one solution to house these documents. Content repositories are used due to a variety of benefits they offer, and not always does one solve all challenges. Some of your departments may use 2 or more storage systems at the same time to support their daily work. This means that files for the maintenance organization could also be spread across networks and servers. For this, simply attaching files to support the work is in itself a challenge. In SAP, we can click the link to the file, but then do we as a user have access to whatever network location or cloud space that happens to hold that file? Did we link a web page to a manufacturer lockout checklist and forget to download the file? What if the file is in a format that the workstation can't even open? PDF might be the standard, but when the file is a mechanical drawing in AutoCAD, there isn't a nice way to get that out in your maintenance package without someone running that application to view the content and then exporting it to another file to include in a package. Nice and easy, the infrastructure of the Seal application enables linking and embedding files of various types across any network storage location, resulting in a seamless and hands-free experience for your planners and maintenance groups when bundling, distributing, and receiving their work packages. So third, a little bit about document security. Are your maintenance orders and their supporting documents sensitive and proprietary? Every business has units that rely on information that's not designed to be shared publicly within its own company, let alone the world. And these tend to need their own fenced-off area to separate their content from the rest of the system. Even when files do not carry any security requirements, they still need to be controlled in some way and separated from universal storage locations. What happens when the instruction manual outlining how to operate your work with sensitive equipment needs to be attached to a work order? Using generic links, anyone could potentially get access to or inadvertently change the file, affecting the work that uses this resource. It's important to keep these files under control and be sure that when they're called for as an attachment to a work order, they won't accidentally wind up outside the company. When properly utilized, SAP does a great job in categorizing and securing information, allowing only those users with specialized roles to get access to them. Once proper document control has been set up in SAP and the network storage of the files secured, then it comes down to automatically collecting these files and scheduled output of a maintenance package. The CLPM output collection software in SAP or within the Visio WorkAlign software identifies the links found in the work order and requests access from SAP. During the collection of the file, SAP is given the relevant information and is asked for a decision on whether the file is allowed to be used by the user or application that requested it. The file is transferred securely and never touches the user's workstation. This means that from original planning and scheduling to final delivery of the package to its secure worksite, the original attachments are only handled by the secure server process, as defined by the requirements of your company. And fourth, agency compliance. Are you meeting industry compliance guidelines? Today, there are many guidelines available for best practices and safety precautions, as well as strict regulatory mandates that can drive how a company defines and executes its processes for every aspect of the business. With ITAR regulation on controlling firearms and military equipment, ISO quality standards in equipment operation and monitoring, to federal regulation on specific industries from FAA to FDA and others, the list of notices and requirements can be too long for anyone to remember in their daily work. Additionally, being in compliance with standards for properly marking and delivering maintenance documentation and attachments for authorized work can take a large chunk of time for the planner. Not only with compliance, but even in your own automated work operation, your company might need to obsolete or archive any documentation that's been floating outside of the control system like SAP. If the documentation needs to be submitted to an external group or taken in the field, the best way to answer the compliance hurdle is with text stamps or sign-off sheets, and by generating these automatically. Considering that the previous steps for proper SAP document control and relationships with files and forms are in place, the rest becomes much easier to accomplish. By looking at the underlying information in SAP based on document categories, plant codes, functional locations, equipment, and other data stored alongside the work instructions, we can apply stamps and watermarks to control the documents to a varying degree when they are sent out into the field. The data in the stamps can be applied on each page of the work package, independent of what documents are being collected. If the package is later picked up on a work truck but obsolete no longer should be worked on, stamps on the document will give an indication that these files have expired, and the situation in the field may be different than expected. Additionally, a signature page can be included in the packages showing who reviewed and approved a document and when they signed off on it. Maybe this isn't sent with the work package itself, but could be included in any provision of work instructions for audit purposes. This saves time not only in audits and during compliance reviews, but also in the daily work by showing the information prominently on the files in the work order. And finally, a little bit about effort and costs. Are your technicians manually assembling and carrying books of maintenance orders into the field? The costs related to producing and using work orders for execution can be hidden in the daily flow of your business. Steps we take to perform our work can become a loop of recycled manual effort and tends to drone on and becomes harder to recognize for the wasted time that it is. When the work is being scheduled, collected, and distributed by hand to different locations on a daily basis, the incremental costs can become apparent. If your schedulers are having to run a lot of manual steps to create these work packages, then the Visio scheduler is the answer to the question of that lost time. If they're collecting documents and clicking through to each file to include in a package, then the CO Plant Maintenance Output application can eliminate all those steps and compress them down into one click. Those are the easy ones to switch on, but if you're still producing paper as your main output for your workforce, the answers become as hazy as the questions. Consider a few examples. Does the efficiency and speed of mobile devices matter to your organization? Can your workers find everything they need on a kiosk without carrying around extra equipment or paperwork? Or can a welder hang upside down in your shop and only using a clip of laminated instruction sheets? The answer to these questions can be difficult to identify. Consider that in-house software is developed usually to address one of these answers, and the support for this and its foundation platform may not be around for years on end. We might be painting ourselves into a corner from the start before even getting out of the planning stages. Costs to regulate your businesses and the best solutions are the ones that will adapt in the future to new requirements, use cases, and regulatory needs. With standardized open-ended applications from Seal Systems and Visio Corporation, the solutions for your toughest challenges today are adaptable to help answer future questions. So to summarize a little bit about what we talked about today, the benefits of a server-side application include comprehensive software methods for identifying and filtering the correct forms and attachments for every job, activating stamps and watermarks with SAP information, as well as securing files for transfer between systems to ensure they end up in the right place and in the right hands, an advanced workflow engine to support additional requirements and future enhancements, server-side processing to take the workload from the user's computer and enable batch processing of packages and network file collection, web-based monitoring tools to support all administrative initiatives and critical uptime and system reporting, and solutions that save time and free up resources better spent elsewhere, which support many modules in SAP and other PLM systems. So with 35 years of experience, SEAL Systems has helped global companies answer their automation challenges with innovative and intelligent solutions in SAP, enterprise resource planning, product lifecycle management, supply chain management, and many more. So thank you for joining me today for our webinar. Please visit us at our websites as seen on the screen for more information. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us and let us know.